We're just being extra.
Yes. Yeah. So obviously these no goods showing up to Thanksgiving or any holiday situation with nothing are being extra. Okay. So let's see what else people want to understand if they're being extra about. Okay. So this is our advice segment. Am I just being extra? And we got a listener letter. It says, I've been at my job for about 3 months, and there's this coworker who's been really friendly, maybe too friendly. We talk all the time, like every shift, and they're always coming up to me to chat, even when it's not work related. What's been throwing me off is how much they like to touch little things, like tapping my shoulder to get my attention, a hand on my arm when they're laughing, or standing closer than most people would. At first, I thought it was just their personality, but now I'm second guessing. They're in a relationship, so I don't want to jump to conclusions, but some of their behaviors feel flirty. Or am I just imagining things? What do you think? Is this coworker flirting with me, or am I just being extra?
There are people who like to push boundaries. Now, the letter is hinting that they're not doing it with everybody else but you. So, I don't know. I just feel like they're trying to fuck. I don't think you're being extra. I think they're trying to fuck. And you know what I can't stand is the gaslighting. Because sometimes you'll like come up and you'll see like, this person is really being extra with me. Am I doing too much? And then because they're in a relationship, they can instantly like, no, why would I do that? Like, no. What's the problem? Like, then they'll continuously do it. I don't think so. I don't think they're being extra. I think they're trying to fuck.
Okay. Some people do like to be a little touchy. Like I am touchy. Actually, my first piece of feedback in corporate America was that I'm too flirty. That was the first feedback I ever got. I know. It was crazy. And I was like, from him? He gave that feedback? I ain't flirting with that man. But
you know.
At the same time, I am just a personality. I'm very personality forward. And that was the advice that I got was like, don't be personality forward, be like output forward. Like, don't necessarily rely on that, but like rely on your actual work. And I'm just like, okay, but I am a personality. What are we talking about? Hence the podcast. So I am someone who I do a lot of physical touch, even with like y'all. I'd be like touching y'all, tapping y'all. I know you're not my coworker, but like I probably touch my coworkers too. If I was in person, I've been remote for this whole time. But like if I feel like we have a good rapport, I'm touching you. Sorry. And I'm HR. So I know what's appropriate and inappropriate touches. From what I was reading, a tap on the shoulder is an appropriate touch. I don't know. I don't necessarily feel like, this coworker is flirting, like just off the bat of reading it. I'm like, they are in a relationship. It could just be the way that they communicate. I love talking about things that aren't work related, period. Like I would be talking to you about your real life. That's how I try and get to know my coworkers. It's not always about like this project or this assignment that's due. It's like, what y'all do this weekend and what's going on and y'all watch this show. Like I be wanting to have work conversations that are not work related all of the time. So I don't know. I'm reading this and I mean, maybe you are being extra because I don't necessarily feel like it's off the bat. Like you should assume that they are flirting with you.
Okay.
I don't know. I agree with Jackie. Like I think she definitely is trying to fuck. Because it depends on the touch. The touch on the shoulder, it could be the tap I get. But it depends on, there's different touching on the shoulders now. And all it's different ones.
We can try to demonstrate.
Yeah,
it's different touching on the shoulder. Sometimes it ain't a tap, and sometimes the tap is different. Like, and then you always coming over here and want to talk to me. Like, what you doing? Like, you got a boyfriend too. Like, there's other people in here. Like, and I only been here for 3 months too. Like,
And I can take, okay, for me, I've been in a situation like that in my first job that it to the point where it's a little extra, but I stopped dressing up so much because it got to that point. Like, okay, it's getting a little crazy. Like, I don't know you. Like, first off, you're another coworker in this like big old white space. You're another black guy. Okay, yeah, hey, what's up? And then, it's always a meeting at the water fountain. We're having discussions. Sounds great. Now you're asking me, where am I? Where do I stay? Oh, well, I can actually bring you to work. Why don't you give me your number and we can, like, you can save gas. Like, it's a slippery slope.
He was sneaking. Yeah.
He was trying it. And it was
He's trying to be sneaky with it.
He was trying it. And it was just like, first off, it's just like, oh, let me help you out. Let me give you some tips about the job. We're friends. Like, we got to stick together. It started off like that. And then you're always stopping by my desk. And I'm like, I don't even want nothing. Like, I'm just like, oh, hey, what's up? And then, but I noticed you don't stop at anybody else's desk. And now, now you're like, I see you driving in, like, where are you from? Like, where are you staying at? Oh, I actually stay over there. Why don't you, it's just, it's gonna, I would say, watch it.
Some of the examples that you are giving were not given in this letter. Okay, it's literally a tap on the shoulder, a touch on the arm when you're laughing.
But I mean, you really don't know what kind of touch on the arm was it. Was it the?
What type of touch was it? Was it like a, was it like
first a this? Why are you touching my arm? Why are you touching his arm? That's the.
Am I supposed to touch your dick?
Whoa!
You might as well. You touching my arm?
Oh my god! Y'all are just.
I'll be mad as hell if I saw
y'all are taking this now. If they are
touching his arm for,
the only thing that I will give them is the fact that they are writing this letter. They must sense something, right?
Sexual tension is a thing, and
maybe
I do
you
think
have the desire for them. Maybe you are projecting.
Maybe, but at the same time, I don't like that gas. But some people really do be trying it, and then they like can lean on the fact that they have a relationship as a what's that word? Plausibility, some plausibility or something. Like, oh, just like for instance, like somebody that's a thief, but they want to consistently say, oh, but I have a job though. Like you can still like you can still want to fuck me and you're in a relationship. The most single people I've noticed are the married ones. Like they have nothing to lose.
I was a victim of that at my job. Like it was somebody, we both kind of came in around the same time. I came in like maybe a month or two before her. And, I'm thinking we cool. We on the same team, cool, talking, cracking jokes. Ha, ha, ha. I offer her some nuts. And she was like, yeah, I want some nuts. And we fucking in the car in the parking lot. So, yeah, it has happened.
Yeah.
I would say watch it. I would say watch, because it's a slippery slope with things. I would say, you can continue to be cordial, but watch if it escalates. Like if the touches are becoming more longer, or they're reaching for you, or they're seeking like advice that's, a little off kilter. I don't see that there's anything wrong with like talking about things outside of work, but then once it gets to a point where now this is all we talk about, we're not even talking about work anymore. We're just getting more personal. I feel like you need to like take heed, but then also evaluate yourself. Do you want to have sex with this person and they're married? You probably should take a step back yourself,
Yeah, let's see if they own that. They probably
if you
cuck couple.
I mean, if you want to go down that road, but you over here writing to us, so it seems like you want to not do that. So I don't know. I'm just saying,
I mean, or he could be like, I want to be with it, but I don't want to, sometimes it's like that. We think like y'all flirting. And we just like, I'm with it if you with it, like, but I don't know, I don't want to say it if like this could be just your personality.
I would say depending on the gender, and I'm gonna just say cover your ass, CYA. We do this at the job. You're a man.
Oh yeah, especially if y'all, don't fuck because you at work because it can get messy. Yeah,
yes, don't shit where you eat.
Don't do that. Don't do that. But for chicks,
I've done it at every job.
But you're a woman. You actually have a little like.
Wait, what does that mean? Wait, what does that have to do with anything?
You said don't ish where you eat.
No, I'm talking about Jackie. She talking about some, but you're a woman. But like, what
no, because okay, I know that sound. No, I'm not giving her an excuse. I'm just saying, like, for if you are a guy and you're fucking people at your job, someone, especially if it doesn't end well, could take that higher and it's taken, more seriously. Say if a woman was like, "Oh, she's being flirty with me."
I think it doesn't really matter necessarily gender wise. It definitely matters if it's like a position of like power. Is this person like flirting with you and they are in a higher, more senior position? Because like that's not good. Like no.
Now it's hot. Let's not act like it ain't hot, but it's still not right.
If you're peers, I ain't got no problems. Okay. But once seniority situations come into play, you got to be careful. So.
Well, if you played it the right way like that, you did a good job. I'm happy you haven't gotten fired for anything like that because that's wild.
Oh, yeah. All peers.
And that's how you do it.
Anyway, we hope that we have helped you. You got a couple of different perspectives. Feel free, write us a follow-up. Let us know how this works out for you.
We're just being extra.